Okay, this is going to be the first section in our geometry unit. We're just going to go over angles and then angle relationships. So an angle is a figure formed by two rays and they share a starting point. Oh, all right. So a figure formed by two rays, and those two rays share a starting point, and that is what forms the angle. And we will draw examples at the bottom. So if you look, we have an angle example. So shares a starting point. So I'm going to label that B. And then there's two rays. One ray, two ray. I'm going to label that one A. Oops. And this one's C, not B. So we have A, B, and C. And we can name angles. So this could be called angle ABC, because we go in order, or you could go the other way, CBA, or because there's not any angle being shown on the other side, you could just call it angle B. But that does not always work if there's multiple rays coming from the same point. Or you could have a number there and you could just call it angle 1. So then for a line is a straight angle continuing in both directions. So a straight angle continues in both directions. So you know what a line is. It's not any different. It's just also is considered a straight angle. So we have a line. And we can label it. So this would be JK. And you would draw the arrows on both sides to show it's a line. Third definition is line segment. So line segment, it's part of a line and it's bound by 2 points. So it's just if you cut a piece of the line. So say we have our line JK. Oops. And then part of it, there's some dots. And we're going to call that M, N. So we're just talking about the line segment, M, N. And then you just draw a straight line above it with no arrows, because that shows that it's a line segment. And then a ray, we mentioned it in the first definition, but a ray is part of a line with one endpoint. So it stops on one part, keeps going the other direction. So we have a starting point, and then it keeps going towards Y. So that's how you write it also. You have X, Y, and you draw it with an arrow only on one part of it. We are going to skip the bottom. We will focus on measuring angles during our map review because it's just simply using a protractor. Okay, flip it over. We're on to angle relationships. So, an adjacent angle. So, adjacent angles are two angles that share a side and vertex. So vertex is the middle point. It's where the angle is coming from. So it's two angles, that middle point's the same, but then there's three lines. So like if we had, I'll draw it really small. So like angle 1 and angle 2 would be adjacent angles. They share a side, this line, and they share a vertex, the middle. Complementary angles are two angles that add up to 90 degrees. So they don't have to be next to each other. They're just two angles that when you add them together, their total is 90. Supplementary angles is similar, but supplementary are two angles that add up to 180 degrees. So I always say the easy way to remember which one's which is C comes before S in the alphabet. When you're counting, 90 comes before 180. So that's how you remember which ones pair up together. C goes with 90, S goes with 180. Vertical angles are angles opposite from one another. When two lines cross. So they share a vertex, but no sides. So they only share middle point. So I'll draw a little example. So two lines cross. It's like this one, and angle 2 would be vertical. And then these two would be vertical. They share that middle, but not any of the lines. They go through it. And they're equal. So equal measure. So whatever angle 1 is, angle 2 is that same thing. So if this was 30 degrees, angle 2 would be 30 degrees. Our next definition is parallel lines. So parallel lines are two lines in the same plane that never intersect. So they don't ever cross because they're going the same exact way. So they're never going to meet. So intersect means cross or touch even. Perpendicular lines. Two lines in the same plane. That intersect and form a 90-degree angle. So they specifically cross and form a 90-degree angle. So, make sure you can see it. Draw a little example. So if we have this line intersecting with this line, they form 90-degree angles all around. So down here, we're actually not going to do what it says. You're going to have an activity for your assignment where you're looking at a map. But I'm going to go over 3 main types of angles. We have a right angle. This is the symbol for angle. And that's 90-degree angle. Right angle is always 90 degrees. An obtuse angle is over 90 degrees. So it's 90.3, 90.1 and above. Usually you'll just see whole numbers though. And then acute angle is under 90 degrees. Way to remember that. It's cute. Little things, usually cute. So that's one way to remember the difference between obtuse and acute.